Hey loves, this is Bobby and I'm here with another vlog. And this is going to be vlog number 41. I had a great reading week. I managed to update almost every day this week, so yay, go me. But yeah, I had a great one. So I also did a cute few things, so I'm getting a little better about adding like little extra clips and stuff into this. So there we go. I will catch you at the end of the week. Bye. Hey loves, here with a quick Tuesday update. Today I went back to work and I started and finished a book, and I started another book. One I'm using physically, one I did an audiobook for. For the audiobook, which is the one I both started and finished while I was at work, was Lost Boy. This is the true story of Captain Hook by Christina Henry. This was great. I went with 4 stars. I really liked it. This takes place when Hook gets brought to Neverland by Peter when he's a kid. He was Peter's first kid that he took. This was horrific. It was super dark, super grim, very bloody, and I loved everything about it. The only reason I didn't give this 5 stars is I really didn't think this needed romance. It was very shallow romance because they are kids, but it just didn't need to be in there. It didn't really add too much to the story. The other thing is I felt like this could be even darker. For as dark as the world was in Alice by Christina Henry, I was expecting a little more of that. Like in that book, we have the caterpillar runs like this brothel that like literally tortures women. So I was expecting like super dark. This was very bloody, very dark. It hit a lot of really cool themes and everything in it. I just felt like it could have been pushed just a little farther and it would have been like 5 stars. That and like the romance I just didn't care for. If there's one thing you need to know about me is I hate the character of Peter Pan. I always have. I love the character of Hook. He's always been one of my favorite villains. But I've always hated Peter. He just... There's something about him that always irked me. Like, in whether it be the original fairy tale or it be the Disney movie, he's just a brat is basically what Peter is, and this takes that to a whole other level. Like, Peter is such a horrible, unredeemable character, and I loved it. It was done so well. Hook, seeing him, because I don't want to give too much away because I feel like this is just a really cool kind of origin villain story, but seeing how Hook started and the last sentence of this book, like I was just like, whoo, like I loved it. I liked the whole progress of seeing Hook kind of going from Peter's favorite to him when he does eventually. I mean, it's not a spoiler because we know Hook grows up. So seeing Hook when he starts kind of changing and the kind of character that Hook is, like it was just a really cool villain origin story. But this is one where we really get where the villain really isn't a villain but our hero is, because like I said, I just don't care for the character of Peter Pan. I never have. It's just something about him, like the way he acts and the way he treats other kids. Even in the Disney movie, Peter isn't like a good character. Like he's an ass, and this really explores that. But I definitely recommend this. Like I said, 4 stars. And then the book that I am reading physically on my way to work and stuff is Feed by Merrick Grant. This is a zombie apocalypse type of book. This is so far a lot different than what I thought it was going to be. We're following, it's, well, in here it says 2, but there's actually like kind of 3 characters. They are bloggers. Like if you watched when I talked about this book when I was gonna read it, this book was written in 2010 and I've had it since about then, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. I finally decided to give it a go, but because I took so long to read this takes place in the very distant future of 2014, is when everything kind of starts happening. So when it was written in 2010, like bloggers, vloggers, and all that weren't like as big as they are now. So hearing them talk about like bloggers and vloggers and everything, about how you know, they were like the the underdogs of like the news world and stuff, and then now they're kind of celebrities, and it's kind of like, okay. It's a little funny, but I'm really liking it so far. I'm not that far in. Zombies are one of my favorite kind of subgenres of horror, so I can't wait to see how this is gonna go. But yeah, so this is my physical book. For my next audiobook, I think I am going to go with, because I'm working solely on my Midnight Society TBR right now, because I want to get through that. I think I'm going to see about the audiobook for Bridge of Souls. I kind of want to read this one physically, but because I've read the first one physically, I did the second one as an audiobook. That was like one of my first real audiobooks that I read, and I really enjoyed the narrator. So I'm kind of like on the fence, but I did just buy this, so I should read it. Depending on how fast I get through this, because the Midnight Society readathon is only a week long. So I'm gonna see. Also, today I went and I got my COVID shot. Yes. But yeah, so there we go. But that was one book down. Well, two books down, because I finished Something's Killing the Children. But it was amazing. I went with 4 stars. It had a ton of action. The first, because it's broken up in different issues, the first 2 issues were kind of... We had such a action-packed volume 2 that the beginning of this one, we didn't get too much background. We didn't get too much action. It was kind of just a little... But then it picked up and it got really good, and I love the ending of it. So I hope there's more to the series, because I am a huge fan. But like I said, 4 stars with that one. I finished that, and I finished this, and I am currently working on this bad boy. If I do kind of lay around tomorrow, I might start, if I don't get into an audiobook, I might try and catch up on The Glacier, which is the book that I'm buddy reading with my friend Emma. They are now ahead of me. I was ahead of them, and now they're ahead of me. So I'm trying to catch up, but I wanted to finish my Midnight Society TBR first. So one of these will be what I one of these might be what I read tomorrow. I'm not sure. But yeah, I kind of want to jump into this again, because oh my goodness, I'm loving it. And Emma told me that it got crazier, and this book is already crazy. So I can't wait to see where this is going. I'm like so excited. But yeah, there we go. Quick little update, and I will check in maybe tomorrow to see how I am feeling. That depends on how I'm feeling. So yeah, but laters. Bye.
Als ich damals in die Luft sprang, schwang der Hund ganz einfach mit. Und all die Katzen und die Vögel singen heute noch ihr Lied. Als ich damals auch ins Meer kam, hatte ich Fisch für euch gekocht.
Hey loves, here with a quick little update. Today is Wednesday and I didn't go to work, so I kind of just spent my day kind of laying around and whatnot. So while I was laying around, I did pick up Feed by Merrick Grant. I got to about the halfway point reading it physically today. After that, I kind of wanted to like get up out of bed and stuff, and I moved around a bit. I had bought a desk for my room, and I'm already loving it. I have edited some videos today, while I was kind of sitting around. So that was cool, and it made things so much easier than sitting on my bed. Oh my goodness. And then when I was doing that, I wanted to get back into this, but I wanted to do some crocheting. I felt like doing something creative today, and a friend of mine the other day on Facebook had posted this picture of this angry egg, and she's like, oh my god, I want one. And I'm like, I can crochet that, it seems cute. And I did. And this is how it came out. I thought it was just so adorable. Look at him. I think we're going to name him Benedict is what her choice was. It's a sad, angry egg. But yeah, so when I started doing that, I switched over to the audiobook for this. And I really enjoyed the audiobook. It was really cool. I went with 3.5 stars on this. I did finish it, obviously. I went with 3.5. I really enjoyed the story. I really like the setting and everything. I love zombies. It was really cool in that sense. My biggest issue was that I didn't end up caring for like any of the characters. There wasn't a single character in here that I connected with, and if I would have had one, it probably would have got the 4 stars easily. It's just when it comes to books with like that life or death element, like a zombie apocalypse, I feel like you have to care about the characters. And in here, I didn't care if any of them died or what was going to happen to any of them. Like, there was never that, oh my God, they're going to get bitten. Oh my God. It was like nothing like that for me. But I did really enjoy it. I do want to finish the series, or at least get into the second book in the series. There are 3. The next one is Deadline. So hopefully I'll get into that sometime later this year. But yeah, I'm really glad I finally read this after it's been sitting on my shelf for ever and ever. But yeah, so I finished that. Since this was supposed to be my physical book that I was going to be reading this week, and I finished it early now, I'm going to be switching to a different physical book now, and the other book will be my audiobook tomorrow when I get to work. So physically, I'm going to be doing Stalking Jack the Ripper. I was really hoping to get the audiobook for this one, but sadly it's just not available, and it's just taking too long with the hold from Libby. So I will be reading this one physically on my way to work and everything like that, and I'm very excited for this one. And then for my audiobook tomorrow when I go back to work, I'm going to be reading Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. I cannot wait for this one. So I will be starting both of these tomorrow. But there we go. After those 2, I will be officially done with the Midnight Society TBR. Stalking Jack the Ripper is also on the Tropical Readathon. And then as soon as I'm finished with that, I am going to get into the next section of The Gray Shear. I am so excited to get back into that book. Emma is now ahead of me. I was ahead of them. Now they're ahead of me. So I can't wait. And they've already told me things got crazy. And I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So there we go. There is my quick little update for today. I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow. So bye. Hey loves, here with a quick Thursday update. I did go back to work. I started and finished a book, and then I totally went off script and didn't do what I said I was going to do. But I still made progress, which is great. So first off, and sorry about the weird glare on my glasses, I am sitting in front of my window at my new fancy smancy desk, and it's just very odd, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I started and finished Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is the middle grade horror that I was reading for the Midnight Society TBR for the book featuring an animal on the cover, which was The Tale of the Twisted Claw. I loved this. It was 4 stars. Every book in the series has been 4 stars. Every book we go to a different location. I've talked about what this book is about before, so I won't go into it again. But first book is Scotland, second book is Paris, and in this one we go to New Orleans. Everything about this was just awesome. It was so much fun. I love the characters. I love the kind of paranormal world that's going on mixed in with everything, because it takes a lot of the legends and everything that, from these locations and just kind of builds on it. And it was really great. We got a character from a past book in here again, which I was really happy about. It was just great. This is so much fun. The only thing about this one is it didn't have the creepy factor that the other 2 really had. It was there, but it just didn't feel really fleshed out. I feel like while writing this, instead of going for such the kind of creepy horror aspects as she did in the other 2 books, she kind of focused a lot more on the setting of New Orleans, which was appreciated. I literally felt like I was there, even though I've never been there. It's a dream to go there, but I haven't been there yet. But it felt like I was there. It could have really upped the creepy a little bit, especially because we kind of got a new big bad type of thing going on in here. But it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I do highly recommend this series. said I was going to start Stalking Jack the Ripper, but last minute before I walked out of my house to go to work, I didn't grab that. I ended up going with The Glacier. I wanted to get into the next section because Emma had already started it, and I ended up finishing that whole section. I am in the very last parts that we have to read together, so I am now putting it on pause until Emma catches up, because they were ahead of me and now I'm ahead of them again. If you saw my last vlog when I first started reading it, I could not stop raving. I was loving this. Yeah, that didn't last. I still have the last part to go, so I'm still hoping, but I just know this is not going to end at all like I wanted. Everything I was hoping for this got flushed down the fucking toilet. I just am so disappointed. A lot of people will love this, and I get why a lot of people do like this. Like, I would highly recommend this book. It's just, I thought I was going to be getting something so much different because of the way it started. I'm like, we had this one element where I do not want to give it away, that was like straight up mentioned, and I was like, holy crap, I hope this goes farther. And then in the back of my head, I had all of my kind of suspicions. I had we're going to go to the extreme suspicions, which is what I was full on hoping for. And then I had this isn't going to go the way I want suspicions. And yeah, we ended up going that direction. And so far I've been right about everything, and I'm really freaking disappointed. Also, I was hoping this book wasn't going to have any romance in it, because we've got a bunch of girls living Lord of the Flies style in the middle of the fucking woods, trying to kill each other basically and trying to survive at the same time, as well as having this magical element and everything to it, that I was hoping, we're not going to have like any romance. No, we got a super useless romance that was not thought out, and it's just crap, and I'm so irritated right now with it. The romance in here reminds me of the romance from Serpent and Dove. So, I mean, if you like that book, which you don't want to get me started on that one, when I read it last year, yeah, I hated everything about that book. That's what the romance in here felt like. So if you like that romance, I fully recommend you check this one out. I personally absolutely hated it. It's one of my least favorite romances ever. This is now a very close second. I like the world and everything. Like I said, it started off so good with everything I wanted, and I was just like, oh my goodness, we're gonna go full dark. This is gonna be like grim and terrible, and we're gonna have these like teenage girls, because what the hell is more terrifying than a bunch of teenage girls that are literally just out to survive? No, I was disappointed. I still have that last little section, so I'm hoping it'll pull through, because it went from a 5-star to now I'm like at a 2.5, maybe 3. So that last little section is really going to play into what I end up going with this. And apparently I messed up my bookmark. Yeah, so why'd you do this to me? I was just so excited, and now I'm not. But yeah, so I will be starting Stalking Jack the Ripper tomorrow. That is my book. As soon as I got home, I threw it in my backpack so I wouldn't get distracted. I am very excited for it. I can't wait to start it. After that one, though, I will be done with my Midnight Society TBR. And so there we go. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey loves, here with a quick Friday update. I had a pretty great day at work. I literally did absolutely nothing. Our order didn't come in, so the stuff I need to do my baking wasn't able to do that. So I literally spent my entire day reading. I ended up finishing The Glacier. I'm going with 2 stars, and it's me being a bitter person that I am giving it 2 stars, because I was so disappointed in it. It had so much potential, and it just got flushed down the freaking toilet for me. I hated the ending. I thought that last little section for me was going to save it, and it didn't. I literally hated everything about the ending and the final section. It was just awful to me. I do recommend this to people, though. Like, a lot of people will really like it. My expectations were just really high because of how it started. It started out so freaking awesome, and then it had so much promise for me to be something really unique and fun and just honestly crazy, and it just didn't. A lot of people compare this to the Hunger Games, and it's not like that in the slightest bit. There is absolutely no competition or anything. This is straight up the Lord of the Flies with romance that didn't need to be in there at all. And our main character, every man is just in love with her. Everybody falls in love with her, and I was just like, oh yeah, I went 2 stars. It's probably closer to a 3, but I'm being bitter and I'm giving it a 2. So, yeah. I ended up, since I finished that, something told me, just take another book with you, just take another book with you. I got so lucky I did, because I started Stalking Jack the Ripper, and I am over halfway done with it already. I am on page 204, because like I said, I had nothing to do today. I finished that off basically on my way to work, and then like right when I got to work. And then I dived into this, and then I just walked my happy little butt down to the actual airport terminal, and I just found a comfortable chair, and I sat there and I read this and read this and read this, and then I read this on my way home. I haven't stopped. I really, really like this. It is so good. It's caught my attention. Of course, I've already got my theories. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I have a feeling I'm going to be right. But I do just genuinely enjoy this. It's really cool. The setting and everything is great. There's only really 2 things about this that I'm not enjoying all that much. But it's not even anything super major. One is that we are supposed to be stalking Jack the Ripper. There are, his murders going on. People, everything's going crazy and stuff like that. And half of the pages is just her talking about our main character, Audrey Rose. She constantly just talks about what the hell she's wearing. And that, she could be smart and girly. Okay, I got that from the very beginning. We don't need to keep rehashing that out. We get it. You're not like other girls. I don't know what it is about authors that keep doing that. They go in, like, especially when, like, the pieces are more kind of, like, period pieces. Like, they just talk about constantly what the person's wearing. I don't care that much. We have gruesome murders happening. We've got people that are getting blamed for said gruesome murders. We have a girl that wants to be, like, enjoys, like, dissecting humans and stuff, and, like, doing forensic studies, and that's interesting. I don't give a crap that she's wearing beautiful gowns and stuff, and that she can both do science and dress pretty. I get it. I don't need you to keep reminding me. The other thing, it's not even really a bad thing about it, it just keeps making me laugh, is the fact that Audrey Rose constantly thinks she's the smartest person in the room, and she's not. Like, she's really not as smart as she thinks she is. And I don't know if the author did that on purpose or not. Like, maybe if you focused a little more on what's going on around you instead of what you're wearing, you would be the smartest person in the room, because she's not. I don't know. It's not even bothering me. I just keep finding it really funny because it keeps just happening, and it's just making me laugh. But it's not anything bad. Like, I am genuinely really enjoying this. For me to finish this book this fast, it's quick, and it's fun, and it's crazy, and I love how it's tying together, the historical, Jack the Ripper cases with, this world. But I am enjoying this. As of right now, this is like a 4-star. The only way I could see this going up to a 5-star is if the ending surprises me, but this right now is like a solid 4. I am absolutely loving it. It is so much fun. So yeah, I already cannot wait to get into the second book. The other thing is I started, it was right after I finished Glacier. I thought, okay, let me listen to an audiobook. So I started Mongrels, which is the teen book for teen mystery horror thriller. I'm not that far in. I listened to it a bit when I was waiting for my train, just my train, and then I turned it off. So I didn't listen to it that long, but I'm not really caring for it too much. I get what the author's trying to do. I'm just not liking the execution of it. The writing is kind of just bland. This is very much a character-driven story. There, seems to be absolutely no plot whatsoever. I don't even know how far into it I am. But we're following the story of a boy and his family where they are werewolves. His grandpa has always told him, these stories about being a werewolf. And it's him, I think it's his sister. I'm like really confused on how these people are related. But it's them they have to live this very nomadic lifestyle and move around because of being werewolves. This whole thing just feels already like it's just a metaphor for a coming of age because he's waiting for himself because he hasn't actually transformed into a werewolf yet. But there's a lot of like little things just from the beginning where I'm already like, so is this just a metaphor for a coming of age, or are you guys actually werewolves? Because a lot of the little things, like he sees something and then he attributes it to being a werewolf, but you can also see how this is just humans being humans in a really kind of screwed up situation. I don't want to spoil anything because there was one thing that really kind of caught my attention about it. So like I said, I don't really know. Like, I get where it's trying to go, but I feel like it's either going to turn out to be like, holy crap, this was just like blew my mind, or like, and it has really good reviews. Like when I went on Goodreads real quick, just to market that I was reading it, it's got like almost all the reviews that show up on the top of the page are all like 4 and 5 stars. And so I'm like kind of waiting for that. But I did notice a running theme about it is that people say this is very much a character driven. There's not much of a plot. I need at least somewhat of a plot going on here. And this doesn't feel like there is anything. It's just them kind of wandering around and him thinking, when is he going to become a werewolf? But like I said, is he actually a werewolf? Are these people werewolves? Or is this kid just kind of, this is how he processes really shitty situations? I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting, I guess. So yeah, there we go. There is a not quite quick, more of me kind of just rambling because this book just made me laugh and I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, as you saw my complaints about it, I'm enjoying it though. It's really, really good. It's living up to the hype, which is always a very good thing. So I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow because I'm hoping I will finish Stalking Jack the Ripper. So there we go. Check you later. Bye.
Als ich damals in die Luft sprang, schwang der Hund ganz einfach mit.
Okay, so as you saw, I had a pretty good reading week. Read some good books, some bad books, and a book that just disappointed me. But yeah, I ended up finishing. Today is Sunday. I didn't update yesterday because I got home and I was tired, and we ended up kind of binge watching WandaVision because I needed to catch up on it. I had only watched the first 2 episodes when they were airing, and then we kind of just stopped. But yeah, loved that. But I ended up finishing yesterday, like with a few hours to spare left in the readathon, which was the Midnight Society readathon, and that was Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Manisalco. I really like this. I went with 4 stars. This was just a really fun book. It was great YA kind of thriller mystery with the really cool kind of setting of, trying to find out who Jack the Ripper was. I did guess the ending immediately, like from the beginning of the book. I had a feeling I guessed who was going to, how that was going to end, and I did. The other thing about this is that the reviews on the back kind of give away one of the huge plot twists because they compare it to a different book, and one of them they compare it to is Sherlock Holmes, which it does have that very kind of like mystery element to it, and one of the characters in here is very much exactly like Sherlock, which was fun. I didn't mind it at all. It was just one of the other books that's referenced. It gives away the big plot twist. Like, I don't know why the publishers decide to add that. Like, since it was in there immediately, I was able to figure out what was actually going on, and I was pretty bummed. Sorry, you can totally hear my dogs in the background. Immediately figured out what was happening, and it was kind of a bummer because I think it would have been a cool, like, actual shock to it if they wouldn't have literally gave you the ending of review. The other thing is the whole who done it type of thing. I figured that out right away and I was right. But it didn't take away from the story because, like I said, this was just really fun. I do stick with my two complaints that I did mention during the last update was her constantly talking about her clothing. She still does it for the rest of the book. The other thing is that, like I had said, she thinks she's the smartest person in the room and she's honestly kind of like the stupidest, and it plays through here, and it didn't take away from the book. I just found it really funny because it just kept happening. Like, I wanted to believe she was super smart. I really did. I wanted her to be the super clever, I'm smarter than everybody else type of person, and she's just not. Honey is she needs a little head pat and just tell her good job, because yeah, she's very lost most of the time and doesn't know what the hell's happening. But I highly recommend this. This did live up to the hype. I tend to see it rated at a 4-star, and people just kind of mention how fun it is, and it was. I loved it. I thought it was great. And then today we went to another antique swap meet, which is outside and everything, and we had a good time. Spent a bunch of money, bought some cool stuff. But so from there, when I got up and I was getting ready and like doing my makeup and whatnot, I finished listening to Mongrels, which was the teen book for Tropical Readathon. I am going with, like, I don't know if I'm going to go, I think I'm going to rate it a 3. It's like a 2.5. There was nothing wrong with it. I just did not care the entire time I was reading it. I wanted to, I didn't. There's literally like really no plot. And it's so just kind of heavy metaphor. It's really heavy-handed. And then by the end, I still was kind of I didn't care about any of the characters, and this is a fully on character-driven story. There's not really much of a plot. It's a coming of age, so take it as that. But yeah, it's not something I would have ever picked up if it wasn't a requirement. So I'm not that harsh on it because I didn't have absolutely any kind of expectations going into it. I did like the cover and stuff, but when it came to actually plot and all that, it sounded interesting. It just really didn't work out for me. I am interested though in the author's other books. Besides that, that's it. But I did end up finishing my Midnight Society TBR, so I am very excited for that. I think I have 4 more books left for Tropical, which I am going to be reading Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I'm going to be reading this one physically. I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I've had this on my shelf for a while, and I was hoping to get the audiobook, but it's just a really long wait for it. I have no problem reading this one physically. I know the 26th, I'm totally wrong. I will totally put a correction on what day it is Tolkien Day. I plan on doing the audiobook for The Hobbit. I should have enough time. Even if I don't, I'm going to throw it in really quick. I've never actually taken part in Tolkien Day, and I'm very, very excited about it. So I plan on doing that because I really want to reread The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and then get into the rest of Middle-earth's works because I bought them all and I was gifted some, and that'll all be in my birthday book haul, which I totally spoiled myself today. I went into Barnes & Nobles and I spoiled myself. So yeah, that I've got to film that video. But yeah, so there we go. But yeah, for Tolkien Day though, I do plan on listening to the audiobook for The Hobbit. I've read The Hobbit multiple times, and I really want to do the audiobook for it and see how I like it, since I want to do a reread of the entire series. And I would like to do them all as audiobooks because I really love kind of high fantasy or the really deep fantasy as audiobooks. It's just I'm able to get swept away, and it's just something I'm able to focus fully on it when I'm at work, and I love that. So there we go though. I will check in with you guys next week. I hope you had a wonderful week. Did you read any great books? Also, really quick, if you know any readathons that are happening in April, please let me know because I haven't been able to find a single one. And I really need that. So there we go. I will check in next week. As always, I'm Bobby. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will drop all those social media links down below. Take care and happy reading. Bye.